here. We're back. Hello, everybody. Hello. We got Cleaver
Happy
sitting over there.
Wednesday. Yeah, I'm sneezing
She's
today. I had to
sneezing.
get away from Debbie for a second. I'm sorry, y'all. Her cat had me sneezing.
She was sneezing like crazy.
Welcome to Get Down and Dirty Talking Art.
Debbie LaPrette and Cleaver the artist and our wonderful host.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God! I don't believe I said host. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to acknowledge how crispy Debbie's haircut is today. Like it is like you guys can't see the beat in the background. It is so crispy.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. I
Well,
love
look,
it.
I thought she was talking about my top. I realized she's talking about my
Yeah, I was like, you look good as hell. And then she had a different car in front of her thing. I'm like, let me call. I'm like, you got company? I'm like, nah. And then she come out all glammed. I'm like, you got somebody up in there. But you never know. But welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. So glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And welcome back to WJZZ. You were on I'm sorry, y'all change it up all the time. Bieber and Jesus Washington.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
It's good to be back.
Yeah. So we were talking a little bit before the show started about your occupational therapy.
Yeah.
We also were talking about the artist residency. Do you want to discuss that for
We
a
can
second?
talk about that for a second. Yeah, we can talk about it.
I mean, you're
Yeah,
an artist.
you know,
Get your opinion on it.
Yeah.
So the city of Detroit is partnering with an organization who's done this now for decades all around the country. They're getting funding from different sources and creating affordable artist living workspaces.
And also studios for artists
Yeah,
type of thing.
yeah.
You know.
So they just touched down in Detroit yesterday to be able to talk about, well, just start the conversations about some things that we might want to do in Detroit and what that looks like if they were to bring that to Detroit. So I just want to know what your opinion is.
I think it is great. I mean, it's when we say affordable, is it really going to be?
That's what we don't know. Right.
Those were some of the questions and concerns from the small audiences that was there. I actually was surprised, and you guys got to put your ear to the ground for Detroit arts and culture because these things come through there.
It was amazing. Yeah,
well, it had to be maybe like I didn't think so. I thought it was going to be packed. Because the Breakfast Club alone has 3,000 members. It might have been like 40 people in there.
That's what I was going to say, about 40 people.
You know. And I don't know where they came from because half of them I've never seen before.
Yeah, I knew. We know about 5 of them. So but the rest we didn't know.
I just said that to say that when they do these types of things and they're getting this market study, these are the people that they're coming to. So
any artist out there, what was it on Detroit Art and Culture that you should look for?
Ace. Yeah. Detroit Arts and Culture. But they had touched on that. I guess they'd done it in Dearborn before. But I've heard that many artists complain about the rent in Dearborn.
Is that the art space?
Yes.
Yeah. I did go in there. I heard like the lower levels sometimes they'd have issues.
I know somebody who's got somebody who's living there. It's a 1-bedroom apartment, and he said it's quite nice.
Yeah, it is. Reasonable. It's very nice in there. Like there's a really beautiful staircase, and it has a lot of light. Yeah, and just the ceilings, from what I can remember.
Where's the other place? He said it wasn't Jackson, but it was a prison. And many years ago, when they changed it into that art space, and they were talking about it yesterday, but I don't remember where it was.
I don't remember
because they got to have affordable. Because I know some places they want $800-900 per month. That's a lot of money for an artist. That's a lot of money.
Yes.
And here's where you get into affordable, because if we're going based on national average of what rent is, and especially if you're looking at an LA or New York rent compared to their 2,000 and 3,000, or San Francisco, for instance. 800, 900, 1,000, 1,500 looks affordable.
Yeah.
But for right now, if our affordable right now is, under 1,000, maybe 500-ish, and it jumps to 900, that's not so affordable.
No.
And when I lived in an apartment about 5 years ago, like 5 years ago, 800 was a lot. Like we don't really remember like that. It wasn't that long ago where 800 was considered a lot, and now. It's like that. That's like really good. That's like 1,500 is like nowadays the average. And
Right.
I personally had that experience where my rent went up to, like, with bills and everything, when you add it all up,
It's a lot.
almost 2,000.
Right. Right.
Like that,
Yeah.
this is like very affecting. I mean, it's affecting a lot of people, and we shouldn't be like on this like automatic like
Right.
work. It's so, I think, just taxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think if all the artists get together and actually follow this and work with this, we can maybe really get the affordable.
Well,
You know.
and that's the importance of us having these discussions and make it known what our needs are. Because the thing is, they're getting funding. It's not like, oh, they're getting funding, so the buildings are paid for. So
Right.
it's it's really going to be based on what we can afford.
Mm-hmm.
But also considering that as artists, you're here to work. This is your job.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So being able to have a space that's low to free, honestly,
Yeah.
so that you can just have time to be able to create and not have to go and get a 9 to 5 to pay for the space
Right.
that you're in to
Right.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Then you won't
or-
have no time to work.
Or instead of like charging them rent, give them a project to do.
That's a very
That's
great
a very good
idea.
concept.
Like, just
That's
be
like a
like,
community project.
okay, you're gonna stay from this period to this period. We would need you to commit to creating something, and maybe they'll provide the.
You hear that?
You hear
art
that,
space?
artist? Yeah.
Art space, because that's the group.
That's
They,
right.
they wanted suggestions on what the artists in this community
Yeah.
needed and felt and thought would help us.
And then you beautify the city.
That's right.
That's another interesting point. So
You're doing two things.
Right.
You're helping
Or
the
we
artist,
can go
and the artist is
into-
giving back.
Oh, we can go into this nursing homes and all that type
True.
of stuff,
Yeah.
and teach the people art and stuff like that. So there's a lot of
Yeah,
opportunities
like
there
they can do a project. They can give back to
to the community.
the community by helping others, teaching, giving knowledge.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know, like
I agree.
education.
I agree.
Yeah.
They actually they had this cool thing. It was an app where it was interactive with the audience. So they had these different poll questions, and you could answer real
On your
time,
phone, and then it
went
shows
into
up
their
on the screen. It
slideshow
was
so they
so
could get
cool.
what we were thinking.
Our feedback.
Right there, our feedback. That's right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things compared to their previous market studies for the group that was in that room, one of our key points was community outreach.
Yes. Yeah.
And where that scored really low in other cities, that
It
was
scored
pretty
really
high
high with ours.
amongst us. And I think that's because in Detroit, we understand, we have an issue with mental health and behavioral health.
Yes.
And a lot of artists who have been here understand that or already actively work to engage with the community via artistic projects and things like that. Or, like you said, want to beautify it, just whatever. We're on the ground with it.
Yeah.
And it's not just that we want a space to create, but we want people that are giving opportunities to really give back. Not
Right.
just sell art, but
To give back to the community.
to use it as a tool. Because it is a
Right,
tool for
right,
healing,
right,
and it
right.
can be affecting as
Yeah.
well.
Right.
It's a coping skill.
Yeah, it is.
We have a lot of negative coping skills,
Mm-hmm.
and we could use more tools in finding other things.
Why don't you tell them what you do for a living, other than your art?
Yeah.
So-
She's an artist, but she also is.
An occupational therapist.
Yay!
But you're dealing with
the twist.
with the
Yes.
twist. Explain a little bit about what you were talking about before about how you're helping people with the closed head brain injuries and stuff like that. And,
Yes. So I just recently started a job working within the community and helping people who have sustained a brain injury to kind of get back into just, becoming part of something, feeling something special. So they said that a lot of people with brain injuries, it's really interesting, is they start to feel isolated and they get a lot of depression. So
I can see that.
yeah, because a change has happened. They're aware of their limitations.
I was going to ask you, are they
sometimes.
aware of their limitations?
Some are. It depends on what part of the brain
Okay.
is occurring.
Okay.
But it could be, emotional regulation, just like you said, like a little thing could really affect, just their entire mood. And so to have, ways to kind of deal with the difficult, simple things is a struggle for people.
Right.
And as you know, as you both have mentioned, your caregivers, you see it also in different kinds of ways, but it's things that we do that we sometimes don't think about
Yeah.
that is more difficult for other people, and it's more common than we think. Even brain injuries, a lot of them go unreported, unnoticed, but there's a lot of people. It's high rate of brain injuries. Like on the, I think it was like it's like more than just like people who have MS. I think even cancer. Like a lot of people get brain injuries because of the cause of how it can occur. But interesting population, and I'm excited to learn more. Definitely.
I'm
Wow.
excited that you're learning about
That's
it.
right.
It's not
That's right.
talked about enough.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Mhm.
And I think
We'll
this
dive
people
into
need.
it.
I think it helps them when you're doing something and you're creating or just doing it. I think it helps you feel better, and it can even help them feel better. And
Yes.
you feel like if you're sitting there in the hospital or rehab something and you're feeling useless, but if you could do something and create something, you could express what you're feeling possibly and stuff like that. It's so important.
Yeah, it's meaningful. It's
It is.
connection.
It is.
What made you get into that career?
So at the time when I was going to school, I wasn't painting. I wasn't.
When did you start painting?
So 5 years ago.
Oh,
Really?
Yes. 5 years.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes. So
Was it coping?
yes.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Cool.
So I was going through my own grief and changes and transitions, and it was a beautiful gift for me, and still is.
What was the
And
first thing you painted? Did you
I
just-
I have like I started off like it wasn't even canvas. It was just like I went into an art store and they kind of gave me like kind of a canvas book type thing.
Uh-huh.
So I just sort of have that book still, but it was a little bit of here and there and just sending it to some people, and I felt like maybe there could be something I could really dig deep and just try and really kind of get back into touch with who I am.
Did it
And
help you through school?
It did.
I was gonna say, with the
It
stress
did.
of school.
It-
must have
yeah, there was.
really.
Yeah, especially the first year when I first started.
Okay.
I was so excited. Like it was just such a prolific year because it was exciting and it was just a new area, and yeah, it was just very special time. It was very beautiful.
We're gonna take our break. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sticking with us.
That's right.
Let me be here. I'm trying to this mic is weird. I don't sit in this angle, but
That's right.
you're watching Get Down and Dirty Talking Art on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment. Where are we streaming at? On Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So you can give us a call.
That's right.
313-355-6018.
Yes, I'd love to hear from you. Should we put up one of her pictures?
Sure.
Yeah, I like
and
to-
comment. Feel free to comment.
Comment.
We can see your comments.
Yes,
too.
please. All right.
Yeah.
This piece. So talk about this.
Yeah, so I painted this piece 2020, the summer of the pandemic. We didn't know. I think I was thinking it was gonna probably last like 2 months. The pandemic.
I think we all did.
Yeah.
I think we all did.
And so I think so. This was a piece that I painted outdoors.
Is it outdoors?
Yeah.
And how big is it?
It's quite small. It's like
Oh, it just looks so big.
yeah, 11 by 14.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I was at the lake, and I just kind of was just capturing what that experience was.
Is it oil? Is it acrylic?
It's acrylic.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, thank
It's
you. It was very peaceful, very, very at peace when I created it, and
It's
just-
unique.
yeah.
It's very, very unique.
and I'm drawn to blues.
Oh, you like
I
blue?
could tell.
Yeah.
In your work, I've seen a lot of blues, hues, and like greens, kind of ocean colors, peaches.
Yeah.
Just very serene. But wow, let's pull up some more pieces.
Yeah, all right,
Go
put
into
another one
the-
out. Now that one's just
That's
kind
one
of
my
fun.
favorites.
Yeah,
thank
I like
you.
that one. It's kind of a
That's
happy.
very early, very
Really?
early piece. Yeah.
You're kidding.
Maybe first month getting into.
That's about your first month of
Wow.
painting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! And that
So-
size is what size is that guy about? Same.
That one's a 16 by 20.
Oh, so it's a little bit
Yeah, I
bigger.
titled that one Whimsical. Just like I said, it was just a very beautiful, happy
Mhm.
I like
period
that.
of time. And
It's fun. It's fun. The
Yeah.
colors and everything are just so
Mhm.
vibrant, and there's when you look at it, there's so much to look at in that painting.
It is, and it almost reminds me of your work reminds me of puzzles.
Yeah.
It reminds me of so, and I didn't know that you were in the field that you're in, but looking at your artwork, it makes sense because to me they feel very cerebral.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, just following thoughts and following,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
expressions, and it to me it's kind of like this is what your brain looks like.
Yeah. Well, my brain looks a
This
lot
is
more
what your
scattered
thoughts
than that.
look like. If I could
Yeah.
think about what thoughts look like, to me
That's
it would
very
be these.
Yes. And sometimes I think that I do tend to combine that, the
Mhm.
background of like having to learn all the details that I had to. Like, I can't get away from that because that was a third of my life
Mhm.
was going through that. And so I do see it reflect. So it's really interesting when we paint. And I don't know how your approaches are, but when I paint afterwards, I really reflect. And then I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it kind of I can see myself in this,
Okay.
you know? So
That's
it's really
interesting.
interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like it. I like the colors and
Thank
stuff.
you.
So when do you have time to paint? Unless you're
So,
in school?
Yeah.
Kinda-
Well, when I was at school, I was like up until like 4 a.m. Now I like my sleep. So I'm working on getting my studio done. But right now, when I work with patients, if we do a painting session, I kind of get
You do
my
painting sessions with your patients?
yes.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I did-
Yeah. So
Oh, wow.
the last two pieces, I was working with clients.
That's so
actually.
very cool. Now, have you had your clients actually paint with you, or
Yes.
That
Yes.
is so cool.
I bring the supplies and then. we
Oh, so
kinda-
tell us about that. How do they react to that? Are they like, wow?
Well, so one of them is younger and isn't exposed to it, so I made the suggestion.
Mhm.
You know, just kind of planted the seed
Mhm.
and sort of. We went. I kind of made it a little fun. Right, we went to the lake, and I was like, "Let's just paint. Let's just have fun. Let's paint. Let's have fun." And the next thing I know, her mom mentioned that she was interested in partaking, like painting as a hobby. And then today, when I saw her, I saw a beautiful painting. I was like, "Who made this?" And she said, "I did." And it was so beautiful. And I was just like,
That
"Oh
must
my
have made
gosh,
you feel
the
so
impact."
good.
Yeah, just the impact that you leave. Like, I didn't think it was going to stick. I just thought I was just going to make a suggestion and maybe, when I see her. But then next thing I know, her mom's saying she wants to take painting. She wants to. So it was kind of very cool. Yes. And then another one, I'm using it more of a coping skill because there's some changes that have happened and you can't change life circumstances. Sometimes things can happen,
Right.
but so I'm trying to kind of help her just work out those feelings and
That's so
she and
cool.
plus you gotta base it on the person. If a person likes art, like try to use what they love, what they value as a modality. So even taking them to the DIA.
That's so cool.
yeah,
What a
it's
great. So
something
tell
too.
me what an occupation. A lot of people don't know about what an occupational therapist is.
Yes.
Yeah. So explain that to people.
So occupational therapist is whatever occupies your time.
Christine, and she says, "You are so talented, very musical. I see instruments."
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
And I do tend to get that often too. I love music, so but yeah, I kind of forgot what it was.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's fine.
I was
always-
doing at the screen.
You're talking about what an occupational
Oh yes.
therapist is.
Yeah.
So whatever occupies your time.
Okay.
So
Okay.
anything.
Okay.
Basic.
Hell, I might get into that.
I like
Oh,
that.
let's party.
And so what we do is we work on getting these people back to doing what they love and what they need to do. So just promoting
That's so
well-being and quality of life and being independent. through
Okay.
occupation.
Wow, that's
So,
really cool. I didn't
yeah.
know that.
So leisure education. So when OT first started, I think it's been 100 years.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, but they used arts and crafts as a healing modality
Mhm.
way early. But
Mhm.
then in the 50s, the
When everybody got
medicine.
smart.
Yeah, they try to get smart.
Everybody got so smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
The-
go back to the old ways.
the medicine model and whatnot,
Mhm.
they started to kind of go more towards physical rehab and
Mhm.
sort of weren't doing arts and crafts as much, but that's kind of the beginning
Oh,
of the
so
discipline.
interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
didn't know
mostly
either.
women. I think it was like, yeah, it was. There's a lot more women that are in this profession,
Mhm.
but there's more men starting
Yes.
to
Oh.
starting
I was
to
about say,
become
that's crazy.
and starting to become more occupational therapists
That's
too.
good.
So
Okay,
that's great.
okay.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
How do you feel it's well, I guess the connection, because I always look at the arts, not just visual arts, but the arts period as a kind of a language. Do
Yeah.
do you find that they're able to express themselves more, or what is the results that you do, if any, that you see with introducing these types of modalities in your field?
So I'm still new, so I still haven't gotten a chance to see as much as I'd like, but definitely there is some connections being made. You know, the one patient that I was working with or client, I keep saying patient because I was in,
Yeah.
I did some hospital work, but I'm still, like I said, it's still kind of new. But she did a very detailed like webbing on her painting, and I was just very impressed because that's very intricate stuff happening, and no, there it was by just freehand. There was nothing that she was using, but it just was so intricate, and it's very interesting how the potential people have and the talents people have, and sometimes we just need to harness it or discover it and utilize it. And so it's interesting, very interesting to see it and to be a part of it.
That's really a neat thing. I'm just
Mhm.
thinking, do you see a difference in your clients after they've done a little therapy, like art? I call it art therapy or art. When they're doing your artwork.
Yeah, I do think I see them a little bit more calm.
Okay.
Just more calm.
Happier and just
Yeah.
more condensed.
Yeah.
Or even just, I think the focus,
Yes.
Right.
especially with the visual art aspect. I know with everything from music to just movement, it's a lot of different effects that it has. But
Right.
what I found with visual is you have to, number one, you're expressing something that's in you,
Mhm.
or even just the copying, because that's simple too, almost like writing letters.
Right,
That's
right.
that's that.
Mhm.
But there's expressing some things that words don't always tap into.
That's true.
And with the mental aspect, like how you spoke about, Sam spoke about with Parkinson's, how they connected sometimes to dance, their gait would change versus when they were thinking about it too much.
Mhm.
I think the same with visual. You're tapping into emotions that maybe you're trying to find words to express,
But you
your
can't
brain
say it,
hurt.
so you're gonna go and
But
you're
you
gonna.
might slap red on.
Mhm.
Oh, it's red. I
Right.
don't know why it's red, but it just feels like red.
Feels like red.
Yeah.
And it connects these emotions and thoughts, and then like you talked about with the webbing or whatever, it kind of pulls your brain. It just, as you're talking about the web, I can kind of see,
Yeah.
going into your
right.
web, kind of just the focus that you're doing
Yeah.
and just coming out of that, pulling that out of yourself. I just know there's a connection there. I'm really excited to see the
That's
things that you're
very
going to be
cool.
doing.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
it's,
that.
it's very
Right.
interesting how you say that about painting. I mean, feelings. Can we really sometimes put words in feelings more than we can, like, just creating it through art?
Right.
Because we're limited to the words in the dictionary.
Yes.
It's true.
Yes.
And then not just that, but it's being filtered.
Yes.
So when I have to think about what words I want to use, so that's a filter.
Mhm.
So I have a feeling, I'm trying to filter it, and then you have to receive it. What if you don't receive my message
That's right.
the way I'd like you to receive it? So there's two filters,
Right.
going on.
Miss Smith, Miss Alice Smith.
Hi.
We touched on part of that as well. She was on last week. Hey.
Hey, thank you for following.
But I just think this is really important work and something that if you're out there in mental health, it's definitely something worth researching and
Right.
connecting because, like you said, they've gotten away from arts and crafts.
They have. Even in the
But
schools,
really-
they got it and everything.
And the thing is, we always get away because we're so smart.
That's
We
right.
always get away from these things that seem
So
um,
not important.
not important, but as you mentioned earlier, they're natural. These are the things, these are the tools that we come here with.
Yeah.
So they're important enough for us to come here with them, but we disregard them once we discover something new. And then we have to come back to them once we figure out, oh shit, that was really important.
Right.
Like the arts, they took away the arts in school, and now they see an increase in behavioral issues.
Oh,
Well,
God,
they took
yeah.
away PE, the arts, all of that.
Oh, yeah.
They see an increase in behavioral issues. Really, the kids just there's nothing to make them focus.
Yeah.
You had to sit your ass down and learn flute. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll be exhausted.
you know, you can have a little you learn how to train your mind to learn new things and to
Yeah.
and also have that calm as well, but we took away the things that we couldn't capitalize on.
Yes.
You're not gonna make money on RCDs.
No. No. No.
You just learn math.
Yeah. You learn how to
You
read.
just learn math.
Yeah.
But now what we don't know how to do is express our emotions. We don't know how to calm ourselves. We don't know how to focus.
That's
We don't
right.
know how to, we're walking around. Everybody has ADHD, which I'm not knocking the actual diagnosis, but too many people for me are diagnosed with ADHD. And I have a lot of parents that come to me wanting their children to learn art, and they'll tell me, he has ADHD. He don't have ADHD. He can focus on the tablet. He can focus on other things.
That's right.
And they'll sit with me, and they're just normal. They're just kids.
Yeah.
They're not introduced to other things. Just it's time for us to infuse our arts, our emotions, our emotional language, the things that we come here with.
Right.
I think to get back to the basis and connect both of those brains.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's so beautiful too about art is that you don't even have to know who the artist is or the viewer to have the connection.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like that you can connect with so many other people, like just as you have your art, and you don't ever have to cross paths
That's
with
right.
them.
That's
Like
right.
how beautiful is that?
It is. It is. We're gonna take our break early.
All right.
Yeah, then we can go into it because I have some other things in my brain
Yeah.
rolling around. So you're here at watching WJZZ Cool Jazz TV. Get down and dirty talking art. It is Wednesday and we're here. We're just kind of on this low key kind of a day, but it's
Yeah.
really cool. So
Yeah.
you're here with Calibri, Debbie, and Sam. So okay,
I'm sorry, everybody.
yeah,
Having a very fascinating conversation, I think.
I think it's fantastic, interesting,
About using art as a tool.
right?
Because art isn't always just about selling to collectors and
No.
doing stuff cool. I mean, it really can be used as an alternative.
I think
release
that's what a lot of
therapy.
people
Yeah.
don't really realize.
Yeah.
They, they don't really realize it. So, real fast question: where have you shown your art at? I was just, this happened to come into my brain.
All over, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
she's still an actual
Yeah.
renowned artist as well, making money.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, yeah. Thank you. I mean, it's just all over. I don't know, like Flint, Detroit.
Okay.
Starting to put some more out in Pontiac.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's
Do you have an exhibition coming up or anything? that you can tell?
James Dozier did the
Mhm.
Heidelberg.
Yes,
so I
yes,
have
yes.
one
I'm there
piece.
too. Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
On the 3rd, right? Or
I
the
think
4th?
the
Something.
fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Heidelberg project. Y'all come to that.
Yes, and then I have one group exhibit going on currently at Black Box Gallery in Dearborn.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
family-owned
Where's
coffee
Black Box?
shop. Ray, the owner, is great. It's off Michigan Michigan Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah, Michigan Avenue.
not
They
familiar.
moved. They were on Monroe.
Okay.
They're on Michigan
And it's on
Avenue
Michigan.
now.
Where?
I don't quite know.
Okay.
Exactly. I'm not the greatest with
Okay,
directions.
that's all right. But it's called the Black Box Gallery in
Yes,
Dearborn on
Black
Michigan
Box.
Avenue. You can look it up. Yeah.
Yes, it's a
How many
women art.
pieces do you have there?
I have, I think, 5.
Oh, that's really good.
Yes, 5 pieces.
Ooh.
How do you crank these out? When do you find time to crank these out? Because you've got small pieces, but you also have some very large pieces.
Yes. when I said I painted prolifically the
Mhm.
first year, I was creating like every day
Mm-hmm.
and like sometimes 3 pieces
Mm-hmm.
in
Wow.
a night.
Oh, wow.
Now it's like once every couple months, so
Okay.
my production's kind of
Oh,
slowed
Well,
down
yeah,
a
you
bit.
Store
kind of
it
got
up
other
where you
things
can-
going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
just it was just I think I had all this that needed to come out,
Mhm.
so I needed to really use it. And I was kind of going through.
Yeah.
I was just trying to transition or trans shift an experience and trying
Okay.
to make it more pleasant, and so it was a lot going on.
Can we have another piece from Sam?
Yeah.
Can we show that one?
I
So
like
this
that
one is a
one.
bit different with the swirls and we'll still your colors. But can you tell us about this one?
Yeah, so this one's interesting. This one's a large piece,
Mhm.
36 by 36,
Mm-hmm.
but I was in tears
Really?
when I was painting this, and it took a short amount of time to complete.
So
But
one of
it's-
those releasing pieces.
Yeah.
I love it though. I like the colors. I like how you've got all the combination of colors. I like the
Mm-hmm.
golds and the swirl. It's so interesting to look at. It's like I almost see 2 feet. See where the white and the black? It looks like 2 feet kind of hanging there, like a like a
Yeah.
shoes kind of thing. It's
I love
really
I
very
love the use of color, but also the strokes.
yeah.
It's very expressive. And I can't say what you would have, because I wouldn't have gotten crying. It feels very happy, but
Mhm.
it goes back into, I guess, the therapy that goes behind art or can go into art.
Yeah.
Because even the way you put, the
Mhm.
paint on the canvas, it makes a difference.
It kind of, I
So
call it my
sometimes it could be a
stress.
fight, it could be a,
Yes.
it could be a dance. There's a
Yes.
rhythm to it,
Yes.
whatever you need it to be.
I kind of call it a stress release.
But the
Yes.
You kind of get
hues are
into your
just beautiful.
world.
Thank you.
It's very cool. Now, is this
No.
piece hanging anywhere, or is this
So this piece is I do layaways.
Mhm.
So this
Oh.
piece is on reserve currently.
That's very cool. Do you hear
It's
that?
absolutely
You can get any of
beautiful.
her work, and she does like a
Thank
layaway
you.
kind of
Yes,
thing.
I work with people. It's not for me. It's more about as long as they're getting taken care of
Mhm.
and
That's very-
appreciated.
Well, I hope whoever got it appreciates because it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, not just from yes, you release, but also from a professional artist standpoint, because it makes a difference. There are people just throw stuff on there, and that's applaud for effort. But
Right.
she's very talented. So the values that you have in here, the lines, the composition, it's absolutely amazing. That you just started painting 5 years
I
ago,
know.
number one, but
Mhm.
these are incredible.
Yeah, so what was interesting, so I was in tears because I went to a
Somebody's
home-
asking, says, do you pick the colors
Or was it random?
it was
Huh?
random.
Okay.
It was just whatever I had available. Like I'll go to the art store and I'll just go to the paint section and I'll just be like, okay, I'm feeling these colors. And then whatever is easy to take out of, how sometimes paint sticks
Yes.
and like I just can't open it. Some of
Yes.
those I couldn't open.
That's kind of what I do with my glazes.
We had
to
so,
get who was the AAA guy to
Yeah.
open up?
Oh God, yeah.
But
Yeah.
you were saying that you just what were you were talking about how you created the piece.
yeah, so I was working in like a homeless shelter in Flint, and I saw a lot of people struggling, and there was just one particular little girl that really wanted this one toy, and just I don't know, it was just some kind of encounter, but I think I exchanged some few words. I can't remember. It was a couple years ago with her. And she had I think I took a picture of her and she had like such a sweet smile on her face after, but it broke me when I came home. I think I just took on all these people's
energy.
pain and I just it was just a lot. And so I kind of created that piece, but the person, the collector that's it's reserved for, she said she had her own experience with homelessness, but she was very connected with this piece. That was so interesting that she was so connected with it and she had a personal experience that caused me to create the piece
Mhm.
that was connected.
Wow.
So, it
So
was
what
very
did you name that
interesting.
piece? Do you have a name for it or?
Universal energy.
Universal
Mm.
energy.
Yes.
I like that.
Appropriate.
It feels like universal
Yeah.
energy.
Yes.
It does.
Isn't that cool too that you're able to, or people are able to connect to what you're putting into the piece, even if you don't necessarily know.
Yes.
Like I don't know, because now we're on this topic, and this is where I'm like,
I know.
because these colors mean something. These feelings, we're able. This to me is a translation. It's another language to me.
It
It's like
is.
basically you wrote out a note and somebody else read,
Picked it up.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and you don't understand. I don't know what it means. How do you know what it means? I don't know, but you put it out there and
That's
I read
right.
it. I understand and I'm interpreting
It's
it.
like having faith. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
what faith is.
Right,
It's
right,
just-
right. It's like when I go to my shelf with all my colors, I don't know what color I want.
I
Yeah.
asked
It
you
just
that
kind of,
earlier.
yeah,
It's
it
like,
just,
what made you put these colors
I don't
on?
know. It's just whatever, like whatever calls to me. It's like I'm
Like,
looking
what
at
is
all
that
the,
voice?
yeah,
that's
and I'm
calling
like,
to you.
oh, okay, I'm
We
gonna
need to
put-
listen to that.
I do, I
You
do.
know?
We have
It's-
to understand it first. First, we have to
Yeah.
acknowledge it and acknowledge that it's important.
That's
Yes.
right.
And
That's
then
right.
start to understand why it's important.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I'm like, I don't look at what's. I just look at the piece like, okay, it's not gonna look nice, but it's what I'm feeling at that time.
Yes.
And I realized that today, and I was looking at my glazes, and I'm going, why do I like that? I don't know. I just like that because it's that color was. I'd say the colors called to me.
Mhm.
It's like, hey, I'm here, take me.
Yes.
You know, when
And,
you're
and you need all of that like concoction to create that particular piece.
Yeah.
Your feeling,
Yeah.
where you're at in your life and your experience, all that takes into account
it
the
does.
piece.
It does.
You know, the piece
it
itself.
does. You know, it
Yeah.
really does.
It's very interesting.
It is.
Yes.
It is. That's so
Do you
cool that you
find
can
it-
share. She can take her art and teach it to the her clients. I think that's really cool. Something like what you do too.
Yeah.
Well, I think just teaching them how to bring that out of
Mhm.
themselves.
I think
Yes.
everybody
and
needs that.
expression.
I
Yeah.
do. I think everybody.
We're just a guide. They do the rest, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool.
See, I don't know. And I trust me, I'm wanting to get more into that field. It's just been more accidental or universal. I'll say that as you falling like, how the heck do I keep ending up over here? Right? You know,
Right.
'cause
It's
I've been
something.
painting ever since I was a little kid.
Wow.
But also, we've gone through a hell of a lot. And I've been more kind of even keel,
Mhm.
but I look at it as having those outlets throughout life because I won't put everything out there, but we've been through some stuff.
Mhm.
And I know that there's something, there's just something about it that kind of keeps you a little balanced, I think.
Right.
So I
You
just-
kind of go through your highs and your lows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, right now I feel like I'm
You
kind
want
of
to
at
teach
this.
people that don't have that outlet. And the watching TV isn't going to do it.
Mhm.
Oh, that's why I could not.
That's
Yeah.
like the only outlet we have right now is
I
TV
know.
or Facebook.
Yeah.
No,
And-
I could not sit there and watch TV all day. I would go crazy.
Yeah.
You know, have to do something, and I love creating.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
then,
as I go down there and look at my clay and go, okay, what are you gonna make? I don't know. And it just comes. You just like, okay, I feel like making this. Let's do this.
yeah.
You know?
And too, like you said, with the TVs, a lot of it is like you get when you create and you are creating. A lot of it is like you're kind of reconnecting with yourself.
Yeah.
You get a chance to like
Your
check
inner
in
s-
with yourself.
Yeah, I kind of
So-
your inner soul. Kind
Yeah. So like I think that's important, and I definitely think it might not be painting. It could be other
Other expressions of art.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely. I even think cooking.
That's
like,
what I was going to say.
yeah,
Cooking.
Yeah.
Eating.
Eating.
Oh, yeah.
How do you eat?
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause
What
it's a
kind of food?
sense.
How do you how do you combine your food
Yeah,
to eat?
yeah.
That's what makes a person. Like
Yeah.
just their choices.
Stimulating our senses.
Yeah.
Your sight,
Yeah.
your sound, your taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
It
You bite
does.
into something, it's a whole. I dance when I eat something.
Yeah. When it's
What
good.
is that? But hey, it's something that, like you said, it connects you.
Yes.
If you have that moment, you're like, oh,
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
not even cooking. I'm boring. I'm just like,
Exactly.
I'd rather go do
well,
something.
that's why I said tasting,
Yeah.
because you might not be a chef per se.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
You
right,
know,
right,
even
right.
the tasting, just like with art, there are people that studies have shown that even just viewing art,
Mhm.
you know, it does something to you. It has an effect.
Oh, it does.
On you.
It
Oh,
does.
and another art is like a person's collector. Like
Oh,
what
yeah.
like a collector is an artist
Hmm.
because of their selection of their
That's a
art.
good
I never
idea.
thought about
That's
it
what
like that.
makes people like what you know what I'm saying? Like they will purchase what calls to them, and that's also a part.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
a sense.
I never
Yes.
thought about that.
Yeah.
That's,
I never thought about that.
that's yeah. Because I look at art if it makes me happy, then I gotta have it.
Yeah,
And it makes
exactly.
you smile.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Now
what.
it's gonna have me looking at people's art collection,
Yeah.
or just what they're collecting. Period. Because people have their own fetishes and things that they collect,
Right,
but
right.
I'm gonna be looking.
Yeah.
Because I never pay attention to it unless it's something like people that are into like demons and stuff like that. And it's like, why? You know,
Yeah.
excuse me, we're like, what?
But
what's
like the
going
subtle,
on? But,
Right,
the
right, right.
subtle,
like this kid's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you gotta have me looking at
Yeah.
collections
Mhm.
and what they collect during different times too.
It
Exactly.
tells how your mood is.
Yeah,
That's
where you're
right.
at
Or
in life.
where your head is, where your space is in your head and stuff like that. Or what's going on in your
Maybe
life.
we go to other stuff like music, what we listen to at different times.
That's right.
Do you infuse music at all into you? Oh, can you tell us
Yeah.
about that?
So I love music, you
Mhm.
know, and my partner Tony, he is a music producer. So I'm always, and then when we were sharing an apartment, we had to share our studios. So I would hear his.
That is so neat. So were you
Music
kind of like
at
working
times.
with the music, kind of
Yeah,
playing
at
with
times, but it's not as easy to make a song. You're always pausing, and
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah.
there were, but I could still kind of get through and create. You know, I still took that in. Like his own process was
Mhm.
also my own process.
Okay.
Mm.
So it was interesting. But now that we've moved, we're you know we have our own spaces. So
Mhm.
it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of that.
That's
So,
very
Can't wait
cool.
to see.
Yeah,
That's very
thank
cool.
I think
you.
music that's the power. We know, everyone knows that
Music is very
Yes, it
stimulating.
is.
It is.
It
Yeah.
is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think when you
Yes.
got music and art together and you're kind of working
Well,
with it, it just
Period. You know, it has the ability to change your mood.
it
You know,
does.
it has the
Does.
ability to touch you. You
Mhm.
know,
Make you cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It,
make
it's-
you
it taps
remember.
into.
It really, yeah, like in the soul
Yeah.
of some
Something you
song.
didn't even know.
No.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
you hear the words.
Memories.
You're like, it's taking the words right out of my mouth. This
Mhm.
song, like if I could define my moment right now,
Right.
it's in this song.
That's
you know?
right. Do you have somebody say something on
No.
Come on, you guys can make a
Thank you,
comment.
so much. Three cool ladies. Thank you, Christina.
Oh,
Yes, art is
thank
very
you.
spiritual. It
It-
comes right through us.
It does.
It's something that's given to us. So
Yeah.
I
Very special.
I created a piece called Eve recently.
Oh yeah.
And it was from an album. I got up on my Coletta Paint today. I got some new music and I played it. And it was just one of those, you know, you can just zone, you know, but I love how sometimes certain things can I'm on the word of the day is apparently infused, but just kind of shift and counteract with whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Because I'm painting and I don't always have a thing in mind when I'm painting, you know, but it was like this was coming in and that's what came out from this, you know, and I don't know. I don't even know where I'm coming from that, but I just music is powerful.
Very powerful.
It can make you. I'd say it always puts you in a better mood.
Yeah.
It puts you in that better mood. You kind of feeling that beat, and you're just kind of like, okay, let's go.
Mhm.
Let's go, you know? Or
Do you
sometimes
guys
it's
like
surreal.
to mostly have music when you're or when you guys are
Painting.
yeah.
I usually do. I have I like music period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like opera. That's usually actually my how I relax. I like
Oh.
I have a ritual where I like to take a bath. I like clean sheets. I have white sheets. Everything in my room is white. So I like clean white sheets. I'll take my bath. I have like lemon and lavender and I play opera. And that's like my
Wow.
reset.
I love
Okay,
that.
So,
that's
and then
so-
anything with water, I always have to have opera with water. Like if it's raining, I'll put on opera.
Really?
Wow.
Oh my God.
And it's one of those things I don't know why, but it works for me. So
That is so interesting. I didn't know
encourage
that.
people to find those things that work
Yeah.
for them, even if you don't know why. Just know that it works.
Yeah, just go
I'm
with
researching why.
that.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
So
Yeah.
when did you start this? Like,
Me getting into the pattern of doing it has been over the last year or so with the pandemic, because I went through separation with my husband and just a lot. And I would listen to opera and stuff like that, but I didn't really have, it's not conducive to do different parts of the day or
Right,
whatever. And
right,
I found my ritual that works.
Yeah.
So, and then I also found that I do it at these, like with water.
That's
so now
interesting. Water and
I
opera.
just found that. I don't know why.
That's so neat, though.
But when I'm painting, I like trap music. Like I play Tupac. But I think it's just like the beat, like it's energizing. But this last time was from jazz, and I don't normally paint to jazz.
Right.
But it was like I think it's just that it's energizing. It's like like it's go
You're
time.
going with
Yeah,
yeah, and even just maybe the water and opera, you're like mixing two senses, like sensation and
That's true.
also
Yeah.
sound
Yeah.
and smell.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
have a whole little thing. My mother makes sands, and she's infused with sands. But this is where I say I do my own experimentation and research, because I do believe in sound and color, and I do believe there's something with the scents there too. So I'll have workshops where we're painting, and I'll put different scents on the table and let them choose whatever scents, and they'll stir the sand, because even that, the feeling does something.
Right.
And they'll
right.
say, I don't know why I can't stop stirring this, and they're stirring sands and they're painting. But
Really, that is so cool. I didn't know that. That's neat.
I don't know why. But right now it's just kind of like I'm just trying to figure stuff out.
yeah, you're
Somebody research
experimenting.
But we're getting into all types of stuff.
Yeah.
But thank
Yes,
you
we
all for
are.
hanging with us. Get
That's
down
right.
and talking tonight on WJCZ.
Cool Jazz TV.
That's right. That's right.
So comment. Any more comments, guys? Come on. Come on.
Yeah. So what do you have up next, and what are you working on now?
Yeah.
So the Heidelberg is one. I'm in the future, like maybe not this year, but Ferndale Library asked me to display some work, but I want to create a new body of work. So there's that. And then I think, that's
So,
it.
like, when you're gonna do a new body of work, do you have any inspirations that you're gonna do, or are you just kind of not sure? Or you're just kind of.
What I'm feeling is going larger, like larger scale.
I can see you going larger. I really could. 'Cause your pieces are powerful.
Yeah, thank you.
I can see them going big.
Now that I have a little bit bigger space, I'm gonna try and explore that a little bit.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered putting them in like therapeutic spaces, like hospitals and stuff like that?
Yeah, maybe. I haven't actually considered it, but it would be
That would be very
something to maybe even on like just reaching out to the coordinators and maybe doing a monthly. They are.
I've seen rehab centers and stuff like that throughout the pandemic. Some projects that they put on hold, but they are looking for artists to infuse those spaces.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
Because it's nice when you're walking through and you're looking at it, and it just makes you kind of feel, when you see art on the wall, I think it kind of just makes you feel good.
Yeah.
You're not in this drum bum place. You got a little bit of, it just makes you happy, or just kind of a comfortable feeling kind of thing.
Yes, I agree.
What I like with your work is, like I said, it reminds me of a puzzle.
Yeah.
So
so you can look at it a lot.
Yeah. There are some pieces that force you to try to figure out what it is and make sense of it, or just whatever. It pulls you in instead of just like, that's a pretty flower, and keep moving. It kind of forces you to pay attention to everything that's going on.
Right. I kind of feels like it puts you, like, it can maybe change your mood.
Yeah.
When you're looking at some of those pieces, it can kind of, like, maybe you're having a bad moment, you look at that and go, oh, that's kind of cool. It kind of changes your brain thought.
I'm like, is that a building? I see a cityscape. I see this, I see that. I see roads. I see it,
Yeah.
I always say I have to like it enough to enjoy it myself, because I know there's some artists that, I don't know, they don't have the same approach to finalizing a piece, and for me, I just it's nice to paintings are expensive, and it's nice to be able to beautify your own space too.
Yeah.
You know, your own. It's just so. I don't know. It just I'll shift a painting over. Like I'll have it up for maybe I'll have it up for an exhibit and I have to take it down. But I was enjoying it for a little while, and then I put it over. I put another piece,
That's cool.
and it shifts the room. Like
It
really
does. It changes the room.
completely shifts it, and it's so great that I can have different like combinations that I can do. And yeah.
Oh, I
So
don't shift mine. I'll move my furniture, but I haven't moved my furniture in a while. But I like to. I used to like to always change my furniture around.
that too.
You know, but I haven't in this place because I don't really have.
You shift the energy too. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
But I
What-
do like art. You know, and I do like looking at. So I was in Paris and I walked into this place, and every time I look at, and I bought a piece of art, and every time I look at that art, it brings back that sensation. It brings
going
back that
there.
emotion when you
Yeah.
buy that art. And that's why I say art. When you're buying something, what does it stir inside you? What makes you want to buy it? And if it makes you happy, makes you smile, you need to own it.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
why I
why
tell
I
everybody.
say it tells a lot about the person, the collection
Yeah.
of the person,
Yeah.
and even how people decorate their homes. Like we go to estate sales, and so part of the fun is just like going into the home,
Oh,
like
God,
an old
yeah.
Detroit home.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And just their style and what they,
Yeah.
and then it's just interesting to see,
To see the stuff that's out
you
there.
put yourself in everything.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Well, I do. I have a first floor that's like kind of
Her house.
regal,
Oh.
for lack of a better word. Well, it is. It is. I wanted it to look kind of like a palace. So it's
It
like
is.
reds
Love
and
it.
golds.
It's beautiful.
And,
Wow.
And then the second floor is more whimsical. It's like lime greens and oranges. And then I have like Phil Simpson smiley faces and just different types of playful art. And then the third floor is the kids.
Yeah.
And then my room's white.
Your whole room was
So where
like,
are you
"This is so
at?
cool."
What
It's
where
right.
do you find yourself like evenly going to each like part of
Each
the house?
area,
Or-
yeah. Like I'm mainly the second floor is family period. So I guess that's just us.
Yeah.
You know, it's comfortable. It's not
center.
too. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the bottom floor is like where I step into the.
That's her cool area.
Queen.
Yeah.
Right.
You would just see her sitting there in this big queen for the day chair, with all this beautiful art around her.
That's great.
Yeah, her house is very.
So where's your studio?
It's supposed to be in the basement, but right now I paint
In the back
one
room.
of the rooms.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
In the cigar room.
Yeah.
Oh.
It will be
Yeah.
there. It will be
That's
there.
awesome.
It will be there. But her house is very unique, and it's such an artistic house when you walk in there, and it's like
Because that's
it's so
who
very
you
cool.
are.
It's
Yeah.
very
To
very
Artist.
cool.
play and give that feeling for people to come. You know, they think whatever artists are, they have whatever idea of an experience, and I wanted to give people that, but also a seriousness to it too. Like, all right, let's get to business.
Yeah.
Right.
There's many
In this
many
healing
sides.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even have a massage room and physical.
Wow.
It's a place of healing.
Right.
I love
Right.
it.
Right. So do you paint with your clients? Do you actually take and you said you did, didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah. It's I'm still getting more clients. There's another one that seems into art as well, so I'm excited.
Do you ask them, or you just kind of?
I try to get to know what they're,
Okay.
what they like,
Okay.
and then if they've never tried it, I might make a suggestion,
Mhm.
and then from there,
That's
we
very
get to
cool.
go and do
That's
that.
a very neat
Yeah.
thing. You know.
Yeah.
It is. I appreciate you for doing this.
Oh, thank
We
you,
need
and I
more of you in
appreciate
the
you.
world.
I
Yes, need a
appreciate
lot
you
of
both, even
people
just putting
doing
me
that.
on here and getting to have this conversation.
Because I think it's important. People need to know that.
Yeah.
You just occupational therapy isn't just learning how to get dressed or whatever.
Yeah,
It's more.
there's more
It's
to
more
it.
the
Yeah.
functional and like
Yeah.
just enjoying
Yeah.
things and stuff
And
like
that art isn't just Bob Ross painting it.
No, no.
You really are using this as a tool for healing.
Yes.
You know, it's serious business.
Yes.
You know, especially when you
It
told us that a
really
lot of the people wasn't in jail had some
Yeah,
like this
So
was
what was the statistic that
Yeah,
you
what
gave
was the
us?
Yeah,
statistic?
there was a study that said people who are incarcerated, about 60% have some sort of traumatic brain injury. It could range from mild to severe.
Mhm.
But, the question is that the best environment
yeah.
for people,
Right.
or can there be something better,
Mhm.
to sort of help them thrive? I worked for a chiropractor, and there was a quote he always said that really stuck with me. And he said, "We are meant to thrive, not just survive."
Mhm.
So, and a lot of us are, in that survival mode, but we need to be thriving and
Yes, that's
blossoming,
true.
as best as we can. And if we have the ability to help others, along the way, if we can. So
That's very cool. That's
you.
very cool.
Oh, so we have gotta wrap it up. But we usually like to end on a positive note.
Yeah.
Do you have any word of advice or a positive note you'd like to give to us?
Yeah, I just feel like, just like we are all human.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to see more peace and just love, and I feel like just you two doing art, I feel like we're all doing the work, and if we can, bring forth that, I feel like, we're doing a great job. I feel like we're all doing the best we can, and I'm proud of you two too.
Thank
So.
you. Thank
We've
you.
you know what I was about to say, infuse. I latch on to
Yeah.
these words. It's like each episode of one word.
Right.
Maybe there's something about
Word of the
it.
day.
Word of the
infuse.
day is infused. We're gonna test you next week and see if you remember
Well,
the
I
word.
wanted to say right. That make it a game.
Yeah.
So
I won't remember it.
we have this thing. Why art?
Yeah.
So I'm going to just ask you why
Why
art?
art?
Because it's love.
There
I
it
like
is.
that.
There it is.
I
Art
like
is
that. I like
all right,
that.
everybody. Thank you. That's our time.
So,
A wonderful guest.
oh my
Miss
God, we
Sam
could.
Gonzalez.
Yes,
so
thank
much.
you, thank you.
Where can they follow you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my Facebook, if you just look up Sam Cathar, that's
Mhm.
Kthar,
Mm-hmm.
or if you want to check out my website, that's artbysumma.com.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have Instagram, you can look me up, Sam_K_1111.
All right.
I'll put that on our page. We'll
All
share
right,
that on our
everybody.
page.
Okay.
Thank you, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for
Yes,
tuning
everybody.
in. Get down there talking art.
Art. All right. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.